So there's no disease-modifying treatment that induces long-term CSU remission after drug withdrawal. In your view, is true remission a realistic goal, and which agents in the current pipeline have the best theoretical shot at achieving it?
I think it's a realistic goal. You don't never know if it's because patients go into spontaneous remission or due to drug-induced remission. So that's always the issue. We'll have to have more longitudinal studies to understand that. But Remibrutinib is more downstream, so that's very possible. There's newer therapies coming out like c-KIT inhibitors and some of these Merck PRX2s. I think something like a c-KIT inhibitor might have some benefit, and maybe the Remibrutinib, the BTKs. I wouldn't expect remission to be accelerated in dupilumab or omalizumab, and but we really don't have that information yet, and I don't even think we have good studies designed to look to see what the time course is and which patients are more likely to go into remission than others.
So routine implementation of biomarker-driven strategies
Oh.
requires standardized assays, validation in diverse populations, and integration into clinical workflows. And what's the barriers to getting these done?
Well, we have to show that they're truly predictive of responders and non-responders, and we have to have the right biomarkers and the right cut points, and the assays do have to be validated. For instance, CU index is still not validated. And it's actually looking more at basophils, and we're talking about mast cells, which are tissue-based cells, and they're different lineages than basophils. So I think those are some of the issues. It's going to take more work to really correlate response to different therapies with using these biomarkers or other biomarkers that we have not yet actually thought of or used to determine should they be incorporated into our algorithms, and so it's going to take more work in that area.
And thinking about your EAC presentation specifically, what's one thing you want our just in the audience to walk away from, walk away doing differently in their CSU practice on Monday?
I would say that patients are diverse with chronic urticaria, and that if we can characterize patients, phenotype them better, then we at least can have better discussions with patients about expectations, realistic expectations, treatment goals, understand their preferences and values. And this helps us select treatments for them since we have different options. It's not necessarily one size fits all. Using biomarkers is one way of helping to set expectations and to, it may not be 100% for every patient, but there might be a greater likelihood that they may not respond as well if they have this profile versus another. And that helps in terms of shared decision making, especially when there's other treatment options. So those are the big things I would say. I think that do we have the right biomarkers yet? Not necessarily. Do the ones we have add to the conversation with our patients? They certainly do, and that's where I think clinicians should take advantage of this, and I think it might also be more gratifying when you're treating patients to know that you do have you can really give them some guidance, some additional guidance in terms of treatment expectations and outcomes.